Welcome and thanks for joining us for this episode of Scope. The fisheries sector is making headway in the country, this time in direct partnership with resource owners. The people of Manus were fortunate to have a face-to-face dialogue with stakeholders in fisheries on the way forward in enhancing and building their capacity in getting value for money for their fish products. The vision of the National Fisheries Authority is to ensure the people of Papua New Guinea enjoy the highest levels of direct and indirect social and economic benefits through the responsible, sustainable use of our fisheries and marine resources through participation. One initiative introduced by the government is the Drauke Special Fishing Hub. The Drauke Special Fishing Hub was decided by the government, who set aside 30 million kina as directed by the Prime Minister. Prime Minister James Marape said as soon as the plans and programs are in place, they would use allocated funds to develop the area, creating income for the people. The local contractor that helped in the recommissioned facility presented the key to Prime Minister to officially open the facility.
All right, thank you. We symbolically kisim isla key lo yemi open this processing center and we start long the rural fishing industry lo Manus lo grow na go bigla na bigla Thomas. Thank you, Japanese government. Thank you, NFA. Thank you, Minister Lino, and the entire team for making it happen for us. All right, we cut it, huh? Okay, everyone, let's go, Ibib.
National Fisheries Authority Deputy Managing Director Noan Pakop, on his view of the launch and the projects going forward, said the fish processing facility at Lorengau Town was mainly for the cooperatives, the local fishermen, a central market point for the coastal fishermen to come in and sell their fresh fish so that the marketing processing facility through the operators will help export the fish products to markets outside Manus.
Now we're looking at supporting cooperatives, the ability for communities to get themselves together, to get themselves organized in a formal grouping, so that it is easier for government to support community groups than individuals. So from the catching aspect, you move on to the processing and preservation. That's where the cold storage comes in. You need a central point in the town where all fishermen come together, sell their catch. The catch is either frozen so that you have you expand the lifespan of the product. It can be also filleted and processed to the requirement of the markets and exported to major markets within the country. We are conducting a market survey in the country as well, trying to identify the best market for fishery products.
He said they have a good partnership or collaboration with the Japanese government through Overseas Fishery Corporation Foundation and JICA in funding the storage facilities such as the one in Manus, and by working together with these donor agencies makes it feasible for the fishermen.
I think another development, Prime Minister and the Minister for Fisheries as well, come to Manus to launch the Momote International Airport. Those government interventions also, I think, add value to the work we're doing in fisheries in terms of providing the avenues for Manus fishermen to export their products to international markets. So the next development would be the type of storage facility at the airport, or improving the process from catching to processing to now transporting through air freighting cargoes to either Japan, Australia, whichever markets that the connections of the flights can get the products directly to those areas.
In relation to the cooperatives program, NFA is working with the Department of Commerce as they are sponsoring in setting up the cooperatives that NFA uses in the fisheries program for fishermen to produce fish to the cooperatives. While in Manus, the team visited Dilo and Hawaii Island, Pakreng, Moklan Lagendroa, and Lulu of Rambucho and Tilianu. The Holona Fishing Cooperative Society Limited of Park Island, Hahai Village, Ward 2 in the Rapatona LLG of Lorengau has been facing issues with the Fisheries Aggregator Device or FAD and their fisheries businesses like many of the neighboring islands as well. The money made from the fish they catch and sell could only cover fuel costs, and it is an extra struggle to meet school fee expenses amongst other needs. The hope lies with NFA to provide assistance to strengthen and make the FAD meaningful and sustainable.
National Panicles na PPA em sa atrakti mo liglig fish ya lokal na big bluff fish kan kam lakai kai ole.
Next was a visit to Lagendroa to discuss fisheries opportunities and a way forward in the sector. Lagendroa's young and old assembled the shoreline to welcome the visiting party. Councillors of each cooperative group believe a cooperative society will improve their livelihood because they need a way out of their struggles.
Papua New Guinea, Prime Minister Blame Tok Long, take back PNG. Government Rabatona do itintilang take back Rabatona. 2 something, Iwalo Edim, live blame and through long agriculture, na fisheries. Economy blame ba country, na even energy blame, na la world blame and through la tubla sector, agriculture, na fisheries.
NFA's Executive Manager for Fisheries Management, Thomas Usu, spoke on the 10-year Strategic Fisheries Plan, saying that it contains information regarding the people's livelihood and programs that assist in alleviating the ocean inhabitants to help the process of reproduction of marine life. Mr. Usu said there is a need for a national approach to marine resources due to increase in both local and international interest in marine resources, and that people need to take the opportunity to build on their capacity to harvest these resources and use their traditional knowledge and that of the current science research to preserve marine life and ocean, resulting in food security for all. Fisheries, aquaculture, and related activities provide income and livelihoods for numerous communities across the world, including small-scale fisheries. Maintaining the long-term production and supply of such food from both wild capture fisheries and aquaculture is a significant and ongoing challenge for society. Production has to be sufficient, safe, and nutritious to meet immediate needs and preferences, but it also has to be environmentally, socially, and economically sustainable to provide for the long term. Global demands for food from aquatic environments are expected to increase in future decades because these foods will help to meet the needs and preferences of a growing human population. NFA's vision is to ensure the people of Papua New Guinea enjoy the highest levels of direct and indirect social and economic benefits through the responsible, sustainable use of our fisheries and marine resources through participation. The week-long program included a visit to Liulu village in Rapatona LLG to witness the progress of a seaweed project. The seaweed project is a community initiative, and despite its challenges, everyone remains positive in seeing the project grow. Rapatona LLG consists of 9 wards. The seaweed project is in Ward 5, Poraburi. The visiting stakeholders gave awareness on fisheries works and the cooperative concept. Chairman of Lilu Seaweed Project, Peter Amuli, said with the commitment of the people, they have managed to persevere. However, projects like these do require funding to continue its good path.
Plus tadi belum Manus, 3 side, Liu, Buke, na Roba. Time seaweed, mi belum grow seaweed. Misla tu place in the wind. Na belum making fishermen kai, palman no lokau tim tu, olibak rami meaning, kalau na interest na seaweed. Lami pula, kami interest community cooperate, so we apply the seaweed from nursery to farm, and then we apply start hectare now. First harvest we apply dry and finish, 150 bags. Now we start storage. Now we apply ready long. We apply harvest again, we start slower and 2 hectare. So we believe also by start 300 to 400 bags Now we have Solora. It already finished, but drying already yet. So ready now. I'm like Singkamata, I'm not trying. I'm the community, part long or private man. I'm planting all the land community. I'm participate in this project.
He appealed that the seaweed must reach the whole of Rambucho Island, and because the current shed they have is full, they require an even bigger shed for the next lot of seaweed that will be harvested, dried and bagged for storage until such time shipment is ready and when they can manage to acquire an exporting license. The NFA team and delegates regarded Lulu as a model community, as they have continued to abide by laws of the fisheries sector and traditional laws. Many fishing communities in Manus were supplied seaweed seedlings, but none have come to fruition like Lulu. The week-long program concluded with a final presentation of a cooperative certificate to the officials of Tilianu, where NFA Deputy MD Noan Pakop officiated with his team in their final address and awareness on NFA's programs and projects going forward to help fisheries communities in Manus province.
I think the biggest challenge that I see is isolation. I mean, for Manus province, for example, the province in itself is isolated from the main part of the country, and therefore infrastructure-wise, access to government, proper government services. Part of this visit is to actually see and understand, but to bring awareness to those communities about what the government is doing in terms of the policy changes, whether it work well with the situation in the rural areas, but also for the government officials to come down from the national departments, to come down right to the community level to understand the situation so you can be able to relate the policies to the actual situation on the ground.
When we come back, Momote Airport new look to stimulate economic opportunities. Welcome back. The people of the sleeping island of Manus recently celebrated the newly expanded modern and unique airport terminal on April 25th. The modern terminal is aimed at stimulating business and local job opportunities. Prime Minister James Marape, during the opening ceremony, announced that as part of the government's plans to stimulate economic opportunities on the island, Manus will be a corporate tax-free province.
Built at a cost of 101.9 million kina, the expanded, modern and unique Momote Airport sits 20 minutes outside the main Lorengau town. Co-funded by the Asian Development Bank and the Papua New Guinean government, the new airport upgrade included the extension of the runway and a new terminal that has a unique architectural structure resembling stingray, a fish found in the waters of Manus. Civil Aviation Minister Walter Schnoebelt said the Momote Airport upgrade is part of the National Airports Corporation's Civil Aviation Investment Program aimed at upgrading all airports throughout the country.
Momote Airport's rehabilitation enables an improved level of service to the traveling public, increased passenger and cargo movements, enhance safety and security, and improve operation efficiency and processing times. There are significant milestones that we can celebrate today and one plan long haul. The sustainability and the consistency of operation of this terminal by depend on you people of Manus to look out him. Not suppose you know look out him. Then you know expecting this something by operate lo tomorrow na igo. So no anything o sem walk the soul long NAC na walk long on aeroplan no god. And walk long me all that. There was you yet you know Mickey me fed lo look out in this la place balus. Then this la place balus Bagat limited time long and operate no serving you. Security, no security company does all. Security, and security, community to security.
The 12-year CARDIP program was initiated in 2009 by the PNG government. CARDIP has so far delivered 3 series of projects. Tranche 1 projects commenced in 2009 and ended in 2015. Tranche 2 projects commenced in 2014 and ended in November of 2021, while Tranche 3 projects commenced in 2017 and ended also in 2021. The Momote Airport upgrade is part of 10 airport upgrades under the Tranche 3 project. Gurney, Momote, Mount Hagen, Tari, Vanimo, Wapanamanda, Mendi, Wewak, Madang and Kavieng. The Momote Airport runway was extended from 1,810 meters to 2,010 meters. The upgrade works also included a market facility, convenient for travelers. Manus Governor Charlie Benjamin said the airport redevelopment is a first-of-its-kind development well noted for the people of Manus.
Today is a very significant historical event for Manus. People of Manus, let us never forget that. One landmark, very important occasion, Manus moving into becoming a modern Manus. Terminal Bloimi, Lo I Bloimi, and one smart terminal. Minister Nil Pisia is that. But you mean I'm Stingray. Stingray is slow, it is gentle, lo eyeball kitaman, it is friendly, but it can sting you if you are not careful. That is the character of us people from Manus.
While Manus Island sits at a strategic location in the Pacific region for obvious reasons, Prime Minister James Marape further welcomed investors to do business on the island. He announced that Manus will be a corporate tax-free province under the government's plan to make the province a special economic zone.
Our government has passed underneath the leadership of Honorable Charlie Benjamin as Governor of Bibla, now underneath the leadership of the Honorable Speaker, Honorable Job Hamad, to play Senab strong through. Now also reminded me, no got Manus lo cabinet, but you satok you Minister of Manus. Well, you yet must deliver him harep through. And so Parliament is giving full support. We play passing this law. Long Manus come up one plus special economic region blaming inside the country. As this law, it come to certify an operation. Usat company you like operate the Manus, but you not pay him corporate tax. So today, Mr. Abler, we talk. Welcome Papua New Guinea companies into Manus. Welcome international companies into Manus. You can come and set up your base in Manus and employ Manusians. You can pay your GST and goods and service tax and others, but corporate tax, you and Nogat now as a way to make this airport generate more money for the country and to make a port generate more money for the country and to have more money for Manusians and Papua New Guineans.
Marape said fish is a major resource for Manus province and has urged that locals take advantage and set up their own businesses to export fish and other seafood around the world.
Fill it and pack here. Fill it and pack here already. But I'm into the future, so thank you very much. As Dr. Lino said, all the Manusians, just go and fish and bring your fish here. Even if it rots, we will buy. For those who want to go and work, we get money. Our current government don't believe in free handouts, you work, we get money. So this one, all Manus, go fish, come here, we will buy more of fish.
After the break, late Deputy Prime Minister journeys home to Sagayo. The death of Deputy Prime Minister and Bulolo MP Sam Basil on the event of the issue of writs for the 2022 national elections shocked the nation as it was gearing up to go to the polls. For the people of Wau, Bulolo and Morobe, perhaps a more tragic outcome for them as many commended him in how he took care of the needs of his people. The late Deputy Prime Minister was laid to rest a week ago at his Sagaya home in Boang, Morobe Province.
It was a somber 1 week from when the nation received news that its Deputy Prime Minister had died to when he was buried, and for him to have departed on the eve of the issue of writs for the 2022 National General Election threw the country into a brief confusion over the nomination period, but authorities were quick to respond, and an extension of nominations by a week was allowed so that the late DPM could be rendered the respect and official farewell accorded to a statesman. Police Commissioner David Manning confirmed on the night of May 11 that Deputy Prime Minister and member for Bulolo, Sam Basil, succumbed to injuries he sustained in the fatal vehicle collision along the Leh Bulolo Highway. He passed away before midnight. His close protection officer, First Constable Neil Minor, also died. The late DPM and the First Constable were flown to Port Moresby in the days following. Late Minor earlier than the DPM. Basil's casket was received by immediate family, fellow parliamentarians, and the media on Sunday, May 15 at the Jackson's Airport Ceremonial Park. Crowds numbering in thousands also gathered as early as 12 p.m. to receive the body of the late Deputy Prime Minister and his late CPO. On Thursday, May 12, Prime Minister James Marape officially announced the late MP's passing. He said the untimely death of late Sam Basil is a big loss to his family, Bulolo District, Morobe, and United Labour Party.
I received news that the accident that happened at around 8:30. And so the news came to me at around 8:30 when he was at the Bulolo Hospital area. And I did indicate to the meeting I was in last night for those who pray for our then Deputy Prime Minister. Unfortunately, it was confirmed to us that doctors pronounced him dead at around 11:30 last night. And so today I just want to take this time to relay to the nation that we have lost our Deputy Prime Minister.
Marpes said Basil was a strong member of our present generation of leaders in government who had our country in our heart. He added that what makes his untimely passing even sadder is the fact that it happened only hours before nominations opened for the 2022 general election. The Prime Minister further added that this young and vibrant leader had been preparing his United Labour Party well for the elections, only to have this tragic accident happen on the eve of nominations. He also acknowledged that the ruling Pangu party he now leads is because of the hard work that Basil put in 2014, where he single-handedly resurrected the ruling Pangu party. The one-man party became two in 2015 when the late Goilala MP William Sam joined Basil to revive this great PNG institution. Basil led Pangu into the 2017 general election, winning 6 seats in Morobe and others around the country, bringing it back to life. Former Prime Minister and leader of People's National Congress Party, Peter O'Neill, said the man late Basil helped make him Prime Minister in 2011 and described him as a leader unrelenting in his pursuit to improve the lives of his people. O'Neill reiterated that the late DPM was a skillful politician to have resurrected Pangu Party and steered it back to being a major political party. He proved his strengths when he was not able to continue to lead Pangu, and despite his sadness, turned his attention to making United Labour Party a genuine political force. At 11 o'clock on Tuesday, 17 May, the late DPM was brought to the Parliament for the last time. His parliamentary colleagues and heads of state were in waiting for the traditional lie-in-state ceremony. His casket was received by Speaker of Parliament, Job Pomat. His casket could not be taken into the main chambers as Parliament had already been dissolved for the upcoming elections. The Prime Minister and his wife Rachel led those in attendance in paying their respects. At midday, the casket of the late Deputy Prime Minister was carried out by the pallbearers and bearer party. The hearse then departed for the funeral home before the state funeral service. The day's events were part of a 3-day state funeral program.
And that ends Scope this evening. A kind reminder to apply simple measures to prevent the transmission of the coronavirus. Regularly wash your hands with soap and water, cough or sneeze into your elbow, and exercise social distancing. If you are feeling sick, please stay at home. You can also call the COVID-19 hotline number for more information or assistance. Thank you for your company. Bye for now.